Hi and welcome to this tutorial. In the next 10 to 15 minutes I will show you how Octadesign works, and I will also give you some basic informations. First of all, Octadesign is based on 3D Studio Max, always the latest version, and it's available in 32 and 64 bits. To design a new project you have basically all the functionalities of 3D Studio Max, and additional also the red buttons on the left and on the right side of Octadesign. A project manager or a designer normally starts with the project wizard. In the first step of the project wizard you have the possibility to choose different configurations, like the different renderers, for example, like scanline, mantle ray or also iRay. But we should normally start with mantle ray first. Okay, let's go to the next step. Here you can choose a known customer from your customer database, but you can also create a new file and enter the data of your new customer. Then you can add some important informations to your project, like the date and the place where the fair happens, but also things like if it's a rent or a purchase stand. After this step, then you can choose the length, the width and the height of your booth, and you can create automatically a platform and give also its height. Then in the next step you can choose if you want to have a carpet, and if you want to create edges for your platform that it makes more realistic. Okay, then let's select the next options. Here we can create a hall floor, for example. That means a basic area where we can put our booth on it. And we can see that it has 5 times the diameter of the booth, but we can also change this number. Then we can create a colored background, we can fill in a gradient or also a picture. Then here you can select the different materials for the Octanorm components. For example, if we look for the Maxima profiles, here we can select the mantle ray material aluminium for these profiles. Okay, let's go to the lighting. Here we can see the different lights which are included in the scene. Please note, these are not the lights of the booth, these are the lights of the theme. And at the end we can see different cameras which are related to the booth, and please don't erase these cameras because you will need it for functions like the 3D object movie, for example. Then please press on finish. The program places now the whole construction parts into the scene. I will use a shaded preview here because of my graphic card, and also as you can see I have only a German version of 3D Studio Max, but Octadesign, which I want to show you, is in English of course. And if you use a 3D Studio Max version in English, everything is in English of course. Okay, and to begin now we will start with the wall command here on the right side. Here we can find different predefined walls, and of course here you can also create new walls, your own walls, which you use in your company. Now I will select one of my own walls. It's a fabric wall, and I will start to draw the first elements. So for example a little wall here, then to the next wall, tuck, and here to here. So now a little cabin. Okay, and the last element to here to here. Okay, it's done. So what if this wall here is too high or too large? So by changing to the top view we can select this wall, for example, Oh, that was too much. Or let's select only the profiles here, that's easier, and then we can push them and the whole wall gets smaller, and that's because of Octadesign don't uses libraries, it uses functionalities and then makes the drawing really dynamic. Now in the next step I want to change the height of two walls. And first of all, I rotate a little bit my scene to have a better view, like that. And then in the next step I select the two walls and I go to the wall edit function here on the right side. And then I change the height and I click on adjust. So the walls are changed. So now let's beautify a little bit the booth. First of all, I select some wall segments which I want to change. And then I go on select wall, the 3 points here, and I select a LED wall. Okay, and yes, here they are. Now I have LED walls in my theme. And what about a little cabin door now? I select the wall segment, then I select the wall and I click on OK. And the wall segment was replaced, as you can see. In fact, it's very easy to make your own design. And that's because of, like I said before, because Octadesign don't work with library elements, it works with functionalities. Okay, now let's have a little rendering so that you can see a little preview of the booth. And now in the next step we will put some graphics on the walls here, and in fact that's really easy too, because with the poster wizard you are able to put graphics on any wall you want, in full size or in a predefined size. When we open the poster wizard we are able to select pictures to import them, and then we have to select object, and then in the next step we have to say on which side of the object the poster has to be placed. We turn to the next page and then we can select here if we want to map it to the whole object, to a predefined size or to a user defined size. And we can also say that we want, for example, a frame around it on this side here. We can also change some preferences here, and by clicking on accept the graphic was placed. Then we go back and we change the next object. So we select front side and we can see these little fingers here. You see on this side the graphic will be placed. Accept, and the graphic was placed. So now we place the next graphic and so on. We select a new graphic for the cabin. So okay, and accept. Okay, you can't see it, but it's because of the graphic card. You will see it in one moment. So next one here. Okay, and this one. So then, okay, let's have a little rendering. As we can see, the graphics were placed. So you can see it's very easy and it's very fast. Now in the next step we will light the booth, and for this I have created a special wall named light on wall, and with this wall I can place the spots directly on the top of the walls. I built this wall and we can see the spots are placed automatically. So okay, and now in the next step I will change the height to 3 meters, because of the two other walls. And one time, so here we are, and this one too. Okay, and now let's have a little rendering, and you will see that there are the light informations of the spots in the scene now. And there is one special thing: the lights we just placed in are IES lights, and that means they have real light information, and you can also do light planning with this software. But you should take care, because you will never have the same conditions in an exhibition hall like in the scene. Okay, and in the next step we are going to install a ceiling, and for this I have also prepared a wall function here. It's called ceiling, and I start to draw from here to here to here and to here, and okay, and this ceiling construction is fixed on the ceiling of the hall. With the easy fill function we will fill in a panel now into the ceiling of our booth, and for this we have only to select the profiles of our ceiling, and it's enough to select one profile in each direction. Okay, so, and then we can easily change the color of the material, for example here. Okay, and insert. In the new rendering now we can see that the ceiling throws a shadow on the booth because of the global illumination around. But in fact I would like to have the booth a little bit brighter under the ceiling, and so I have prepared another transparent wall which only sets me a light string like you often have with LEDs. So let's look then at the new rendering, and we can see the booth has become brighter. Okay, now let's equip our booth with some furnitures. In Octadesign you have a lot of furnitures which you can find in the media browser right here in the right upper corner. In the furniture library of Octadesign are included bar stools, chairs, desks, other office furnitures, and many other things you could need to furnish your booth. But in this case I only want to have a very simple counter, and I push it per drag and drop into the scene. I say okay, I want to use the scene materials, and here it is. Now I add a little seed group to the scene, and maybe I copy it 1 or 2 times. Let's copy, I'll place it here, and once more here. Okay, like that, and that's it. And then finally I add a little wall behind this counter, and I use the same wall as at the beginning of the tutorial, a fabric wall, but only in height of 2 meters. Then I activate the magnet function to draw in grid size. Okay, but I also want to have a graphic on this wall, so I activate the poster wizard and I select the graphic. So, and then I select if I want to have it on the front or on the rear side. I want to have it on both sides, and okay, I have drawn this booth now in a very short time, and if we make a rendering now, you can see what you can reach in a few minutes. And of course you can increase the rendering quality, and you could also draw this booth in 3D Studio Max without Octadesign, but you would take 10 to 20 times longer, and in fact it would be not so easy, and also time makes the money.